So, there's been a bunch of changes. These are all these changes are coming from the wonderful Spider Axe, who, like I was saying earlier, does not work for Riot Games. He's just a guy. In fact, it was really funny. This was a while back ago. I think it was in like during playoffs for the LCS this season, and it was like Kobe and Jat and Azael just talking about like, hey, did you hear about the changes coming from Spider X? And then Kobe was like, yo, I gotta preface this with, he's not even a Rioter. We just find out what the changes are through him because he tells us faster than Riot Games actually tells us, and we work here. I always found that to be the funniest thing ever. Like, Riot should hire this guy. Riot should just pay this guy money because he does a huge service that everyone listens to, man. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. He does a great job. Anyway, so a lot of these are coming from this. There's a lot of new items coming out, and there's going to be some huge meta shifts. So you guys like to hear about meta shifts and everything like that. I've not really done many of these videos or discussions about this, but, you know, if you guys like it, let me know. I'll produce more of this League of Legends style guidance kind of discussion, community-based content. So first is a brand new item. It's called Symbiotic Souls. It's a boot. And it empowers recall. Now, for anyone who doesn't know what empowered recall is, it's after you kill Baron and Grubs and Rift Herald, you get a faster recall. And so I think it's going to be that. This is actually probably going to be really good for split pushing. And I don't know if it'll be better. It seems very niche. But, you know, if someone is like, you know, Yorick or whatever, or a Mundo, and they're, you know, split pushing like crazy, and they need to be able to get out of dodge really, really fast, this might be a really good thing here. After traveling, I'm not sure exactly how much 150,000 units of distance is. Like, I don't know what that means in the game. So I'm not entirely sure if this is like a really, really high distance. Sounds like a lot, but I don't really know. But an extra 45 movement speed out of combat, that's okay. I guess, are they, they might be replacing, what's it called with this, by the way? Not tabbies. What's the one that makes you run really fast out of combat? And in combat, you get screwed over, and it, like, makes your, movement speed a lot slower. MOBAs, thank you. I forgot the name. So I think this might be a change to MOBAs. Like, this might be the new MOBAs. And also, it's only 900. So it's not a higher price. So it's not too bad. I think it's probably just going to be a better MOBAs. All right, next is Black Fire Torch. So this also stems from an item, which is another AP item. Here it is. So this is going to be a really good item for 900 gold. So if you're an AP mid and you want to be able to do a dot damage, and also it works on monsters. So this could be used for jungling as well. So I don't know what builds into this. Probably one, maybe two amp tomes build into this. So you'll do a burn damage, 7 damage per second for 3 seconds, so a total of 21 damage, and increases to 20 per second for monsters. So this actually, unironically, probably a pretty good back for anything from Evelynn jungle to maybe like Elise jungle, things like that. AP jungles are salivating. Yeah, exactly. This is unironically really good. And also, don't forget, guys, Karthus. Yeah, but no one likes to play Karthus. Don't forget, guys, they buffed Diana jungle to an insane degree just a few patches ago. So this would be really good for like a Diana jungle, like straight up, guys. And not only that, this is just the component part. This is what it builds into. The Blackfire Torch. This is a new higher level item. The Balefire Blaze. It gives you 90 AP, 2,800 gold, which is a decent price point. It's not like, you know, a very, very high price point. It gives you a lot of mana, which is, you know, ambivalent, especially in the jungle, but it's pretty good for laning. 25 ability haste, which is a really good chunk of ability haste. Balefire Blaze. Sorry, Baleful Blaze. Dealing damage with abilities cause enemies to burn for 20 with AP scaling. So 4% AP plus 20 magic damage per second. It increases by 20. So I'm assuming it's 20 over and above for monsters. So this is, again, very good for junglers. And also, another passive on it called Blackfire. For each enemy champion, epic monster, and large monster affected by your baleful blaze, you gain AP. I'm assuming for just 3 seconds, but this looks really insane, dude. Yeah, Morgana Jungle. Morgana Jungle is actually under the table very strong. A lot of people don't realize how strong it is still. Zyra Jungle used to be taking over. Anything with big AoE, again, Diana Jungle. Dude, can you imagine a Baron fight? You're against 5 people. They're all in Baron. You have a really nice flank as a Diana Jungle. You go in. Yeah, Brand. Brand is. Oh, God. Brand. Yeah, Brand. Yeah, Brand is going to love this shit. Dots on dots on dots. And I don't think they're taking out any of the other dot items. So I think this is like over and above Leandries and over and above, Malignance and all that. So just shit tons of dots. And, Riot Games loves putting mechanics just to stack upon each other without thinking like, hey, are we breaking the game? Yeah, they don't care. They don't care. So, this is almost certainly something that can be added to all of the other stuff as well. I don't see anything that says, what is it called? Unique passive or anything like that. So, yeah, dude, Brand is going to love this. Zyra is going to love this. Diana is going to love this. Evelyn doesn't do like a shit ton of AoE. She's more of a burst, like single target, zeros one person out kind of thing. Stack with Leandries. That's exactly what I'm saying, Selly. I think this is going to stack with Leandries. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. So yeah, I think this is going to be really good for AP characters, especially junglers. And Vel'Koz is going to love this in the mid lane. Someone like Xerath is going to really salivate over this a bit as well. Dude, even Teemo. Like Teemo top lane, I could see a world where you get this with Leandries and Malignance as Teemo. And you're just dropping shrooms everywhere and just making everyone's lives miserable with dots on dots on dots on dots. Yeah. Jungle Teemo? Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of Jungle Teemo moves, and I don't think Jungle Teemo is very good, especially in this current meta. I used to have a 90% win rate once upon a time, but that's when the meta really suited to Jungle Teemo. So I've done it. It's possible to do Jungle Teemo. But it is very, very intensive for microing because you have to be able to micro and, kite camps a lot and doesn't really work nearly as much anymore. They lowered the leash ranges and all kinds of other changes that kind of screwed that over. But it's still probably going to be pretty fun. I mean, if you're good at Jungle Teemo, yeah, you can build this item. Now, you're still jungling Teemo. Yeah. Here's the next item. This is an item that I think... this is another component item for AP, by the way, guys. It's called Scout Slingshot. We'll start with this. So, this is going to be kind of like, what is it called? There's an item that does something similar to this, guys. Where it is, it's 2 amp tomes, and you combine it, and it does an extra bop of damage for AP. No, it's a component item. What is it called? I can't remember. But there's another one that's like this. Alternator? Hextech Alternator. That's what it is, Selly. Hextech Alternator. I don't think they're replacing Alternator with this. So, this looks like a pretty funny item to go with this. Diana is going to love this, by the way. This is a huge item for Diana. Diana Jungle is going to absolutely love this item. Now, what is this built into? I actually don't know. So we already looked at symbiotic scales. I can get rid of that. But yeah. Is this... No. Okay. But yeah. So this looks like another interesting early game. I think they took to heart that there's very few items you could really get and focus on early games AP. And that was something I know a lot of my friends who play a lot of mages really complained about a lot. And so this helps them out a lot. This item and the other one for the dot. Huge Zeri Ws. Oh, God. Yeah, I feel like Zeri would love this item. Oh, my God. I don't even know what it builds into. But here is a new, I guess, a higher level crit item. Crits can now cause bleeds that scale with bonus percentage AD, guys. I don't like this. I don't like this for any of the characters I play. This looks very good. This looks very good. Yeah, so crits can now have a bleed, essentially. Yeah, huge ADCWs. Yeah, this is going to be really, really big. So this is yeah, it's called the Yuntal Wild Arrows. 6580, 25% crit chance, and all your crits deal additional damage as a bleed over 2 seconds. Draven, yeah. Dude, did you remember Draven's passive used to be a bleed? So yeah. Dude, I mean, maybe I'll make an AD crit Udyr build. Because crit changes are happening a lot. Atma's Impaler is coming back. And this is stronger than original Atma's Impaler ever used to be, guys. So who here used to be here playing League of Legends in the olden days when Atma's Impaler existed? Atma's Impaler was an item that had, I think, very similar stats. I think it was 400 health, 35 AD, maybe it was 40 AD, and it had the same passive here of 2% of your health. I think it was maybe total health. Maybe this is a difference. Maybe it was total health originally, and it would convert to attack damage. So what you used to do is called the meta golem back in the day. You used to build all the items that stack health, and then you used to build Atmas on top. And all of your health that you were building to make yourself unkillable would give you a massive amount of AD. And now it has a second passive added to it. Retribution. You gain increased attack damage based on your percentage missing health. So, this is a little bit of like the DNA from Gore Drinker as well. Because this used to have a thing from Gore Drinker. Mundo is going to be a monster. Yeah. And it looks like this is not a unique passive, guys, with Tiamat into Titanic Hydra. So you could do Titanic Hydra, Overlord Bloodmail, Warmogs, because by the way, they're buffing Warmogs. They're buffing Warmogs to now give 1,000 bonus health. So with that, and you could go Randuin's and Spirit Visage or whatever else. You could do some other stuff. But yeah, this is going to be the new meta golem, guys. So anyone who can do this, Skarner has a lot of total health damage. So he scales off of health really well. Mundo is going to love this. I could see a world where I do this on Udyr regularly. My Udyr build is probably going to incorporate this if I want to win, as opposed to building like on hit, because another major change is coming out, guys. We'll talk about this later, but lethal tempo is gone. No more lethal tempo, but we'll cover that in a little bit. But yeah, so this is going to be insane. This might be the most broken new item in the entire patch, by the way, guys. The most broken new item. Okay, next change. This is a new ADC item. I think this is replacing Navori Quickblades, but I'm not 100% on that. Maybe Navori Quickblades is still there, and it's a different item. I'm not entirely sure. We'll try to look at the rest of the patch note, or not patch notes. The rest of the new item changes. These are, I think, now going to be on PBEs first, and then it's probably going to be another 2 weeks before it comes out into live. But yeah, Navori Flicker Blade, 40% attack speed, 25% crit strike chance, 7% move speed. And your attacks reduce non-ultimate ability cooldowns by 15% of remaining cooldown. Navori is getting fully replaced. Steel Zipper set? Okay. So I guess that confirms it. So Navori Quickblades is gone, and Flicker Blade is new best friend. Zeri item? Oh yeah, this is a Zeri item. This is, I saw Ezreal players that like to build the old Navori, so they'll probably like this as well. There's several different characters. Gangplank might enjoy this. Nah, I think Gangplank really likes IE. I don't know. I'm not sure. Is this better than Navori Quickblades, guys? I don't really play ADC, so if you guys like this better or worse, let me know. And let me know in the comments if you're watching this on the YouTube video. But this is going to be huge, by the way, guys. Huge change. It's a downgrade? Okay. Huge change, though, guys. And this is for ADCs or anyone that likes to build Berserker Greaves. Berserker Greaves is getting an upgrade. So you'll have Berserker Greaves, and now you can build... oh, God, What the hell is the item called? They had this item for like 2 patches, and they got rid of it. And you can get it on the little like goofy mode that they added in the arena and stuff as well. What is it called? Steel Zipper. What is this called? It gives you attack speed, AD, CDR, and movement speed as well. And they're now, this used to be its own item, and now they're making it a Berserker Greaves upgrade. Zephyr. Thank you. Yeah, Zephyr. This is called Zephyr. So they're bringing back Zephyr, and it's an upgrade to Berserker Greaves. So now ADCs have another item they can get at the end. So this gives ADC a lot of, extra item power in the late game. And also, I just might build this on Udyr. Like, this might be like a thing I build on Udyr. But a lot of other changes coming. So, here is a big one. The Corki changes. Corki is being reworked. Base health massively increased by 30. Health growth reduced, that's fine. So he's going to be stronger early game. Base AD lowered, which sounds bad, but you get more resist, you get more armor and stuff. Higher base attack speed. So this is good for ADC Corki. Your package is no longer a thing, it looks like. So your passive takes out package completely. I used to play Corki in mid lane. And the reason I did this was because of the Corgi skin. Because I like dogs and I like Corgis. And so now it no longer converts your damage to magic. However, you get bonus percentage true damage. And they did confirm that this will have a scaling with your crits. So this will have this will increase your crit damage by a percentage of true damage as well. And I remember reading that somewhere else. I'm not exactly sure where I read that from. But this is I love this change. Because I think playing around Corgi packages was always like a really, really weird gameplay. And I was not a really big fan of it. And it kind of made him like extremely, extremely long form cooldown dependent. He will still have AP scaling. Oh, I don't know. We only have these details, Mage. So I do apologize. Whatever Spider Axe was kind enough to find for us, that is the only information we have. I think they will probably not take out his AP scalings. I don't know though, because a lot of times, Riot Games does like to take out a lot of dual scalings. They did this for Skarner. Now he pretty much only scales from max health. They added a little bit of Q damage for AD damage and stuff like that, but it's extremely negligible. And they added some AP scaling for his shield and so on. It's very little. So a lot of times they take out the dual scaling. They changed his AP scaling on E. E damage has changed. Where do you see that they changed scaling? Q is buffed. Q is buffed because you want to max Q first. So by the time you hit level 9, it's just a buff. The mana cost going down is actually really big for Corki. They're also trying to make you use your Q a lot more often. The tick rate was changed on W, which is very interesting. I guess they're lowering the shred. Oh, no. Sorry. W is flames. Minimum dash range. Interesting. I agree with increasing the W mana cost. E cooldown is being lowered. This is his Gatling gun shred. Interesting. Total damage is being lowered. Yeah. Time warp is gonna die. So they're basically, by the way, for any time warp enjoyers who like to enjoy the cheese, where you get the biscuit, you pop you have time warp tonic, you pop a biscuit, you get a giant burst of health, you win the trade. That's basically dead. It no longer gives you the moon speed. It no longer gives you mana. It no longer gives you. It no longer works on biscuits at all. So it'll only work on base potions and refillable. It looks like, and the immediate consumption they're increasing, but that's it. So Time Warp Tonic as a rune is just dead. If you're using it now, find something else. There's plenty of other choices, but this is not going to be a good one. Okay. First Strike is being changed. So they're increasing the bonus damage of First Strike. They're increasing the gold. they're reducing the gold from damage. So base gold increases, they're reducing the gold from damage. I think this is an overall buff because you're gonna get the gold no matter what. The gold will help you snowball. Base gold being increased, that's totally fine. But the really big change here is that you're also getting a little bit more flat damage percentage increase as well. So this will help a lot more with your late game whenever you get to the late game, and make First Strike kind of like a scalable rune as well. I actually like this. I like this change personally. I don't use it on a lot of characters, but there was a time last season where when they lowered jungle gold, I used to get this on Udyr, and I would focus on early ganks and just make my gold that way. And it worked pretty well. So this might be a way to get all these expensive, meta golem items that I was talking about with the Atmos changes faster with this. Font of Life is getting reworked. It works on immobilizing characters, which is stuns, roots, those displacements. They all count. Now heals the user and the lowest ally for 10 to 50, reduced to 70% for ranged. I'm not so sure about this, because Font of Life was only before just attacking people, right? So I think this is like an overall nerf for like actual usability. It used to be that you could just auto attack and you would mark someone. Relentless Hunter no longer grants 5 moon speed at 0 stacks. A lot of people would take this rune at level 1, because even at level 1, this would give you a bit of a bonus. It would help you move around the map a little bit faster. A lot of junglers swore by this. I never really liked it myself, because, I like going Windwalker, and the other one that would stack for the moon speed. The one that gives you adaptive in River. So that's the way I used to go on Udyr. But now they're nerfing this, which is, I think, a good nerf. But they're also, I don't know if we're going to get into this, but they're also they're getting rid of Ingenious Hunter. So Ingenious Hunter is also gone. We'll cover that in a little bit. They're changing Sudden Impact. Sudden Impact cooldown will go up a lot. And now it gives you bonus true damage after dashing or leaving stealth instead of hybrid pen. So now this is no longer like a stacking lethality, and I think this is a really good thing, because I think stacking lethality is a lot stronger now, and this is a problem for characters like Zed and so on and so forth. I'm a big fan of the fact that you could probably stack this with Cheap Shot. Wait, no, this is the same rune queue. So this might just be a better version of Cheap Shot, because Cheap Shot also gives you true damage for but it's on like stuns and stuff. It's not anything that does immobility. I'm not sure how this will stack up. Let's see if they change that. Hail of Blades is a nerf for ranged. I'm very happy with this. All you Draven abusers, all you Kaisa abusers of this rune, yeah, this is directed at you guys. Congratulations. I'm very happy about that. Fleet Footwork is getting nerfed because of the heal. The heal is going down by a decent amount of chunk, actually. Fact-checking yourself on the Corgi stuff. They took AP scaling off of his autos and stuff. They kept it on his Q. Swapped the scaling to 70. Oh, okay. Interesting, Sally. Okay, thank you for telling me about that. So yeah, this is kind of a bit of a nerf for Fleet Footwork in my eyes. I think it's a pretty chunky nerf. PTA is now getting changed. The damage is getting nerfed, especially at max level. So it goes 40 from 180 to 40 from 160. However, the cooldown is going lower by 1 second. It's a cooldown of 6 to 5 from out of combat. And duration is also going down by 1 second, but refreshes in combat. So I think this is an overall nerf to PTA. Personally. Because losing 20 damage at max, that's pretty big. That's pretty big. And also duration goes down, which is not too big of a deal, but like the damage nerf is the main part here. Okay. Cyclosword is just getting its item components changed. Not my PTA. Yeah, exactly. PTA is getting nerfed. Dude, Lethal Tempo is gone, Sully. I don't know if he's going to talk about this, but Lethal Tempo is completely gone. Ludens is getting buffed. Luden's Companion, the base damage is going up So it's getting stronger. And also, the damage per charge is going up by 15%. This is huge. Also, I know a lot of people were not even really building this item. Though I think like Lux loved this item, for example. And now it grants all your charges immediately after 12 seconds instead of 1 per 3 second. So it's kind of going to be a more like every 12 seconds you get a giant burst of damage as opposed to just generally a little bit by little bit it's going to add a little bit more damage. I do like this change because they want to basically make Ludens a bit more what's it called? A bit more bursty. They're wanting to go higher on burst here. Liandry's. So they're just changing the item to build it from Blasting Wand to Faded Ashes. This is totally fine. Liandry's is going to be really strong, and that means they're definitely keeping Liandry's in. So you can almost certainly combine Liandry's with the new other AP item. The item that name I forgot. Dawn Core is getting changed. Mana regen is going down. AP is going up. AP per percentage mana regen is being increased. So this is really good for supports. And also grants percentage heal shield power. Ooh. That's big. So this is going to be much better for supports, guys. This is going to be much, much better for supports. I like this. Sona is going to love this. Soraka is going to love this. I don't know. Anyway, Seraphine. Probably Seraphine is going to love this. Yeah. Zeke's Convergence being changed. Mana is going away. Ability Haste is being reduced. That's a pretty big nerf. Glacial Buckler is replacing Cloth Armor, no magic. Health is going up. Armor is going down. Also gives 25 MR. So basically, this is no longer going to be like a really strong anti-AD item. It's now going to give you a little bit of MR. But yeah, this is actually a downside. I think Zeke's is just getting nerfed. I read this as a nerf. Losing ability haste, losing armor by a little bit. The health increase is a little bit nice. Mana being removed, that's negligible. But the MR, I guess it's more of like a universal item now. But I think this is like going to hurt, Leonas and everything like that of the world. Lane swaps are back. Lane swaps have been back. Otaku, I don't know if you've been seeing any LPL, but like LPL, like they were doing nothing but lane swaps and stuff. Lane swaps were huge there. Winter's Approach in Fimbulwinter. Ruby Crystal is now replaced by Giant Belt. Health is increased to total. Health from mana is changed from 8% to 15% bonus. So this is a nerf, guys. Do not misunderstand. This is a nerf until you're able to fully stack the mana gem item, as well as another mana item. So basically, the only person this is a buff for, guys, is Rise. This is only a buff for Rise Selly. Yeah, like if you don't build Archangels, this is a complete nerf. Yeah. This is a huge nerf, actually. Which is weird, because a lot of people don't even really build this item. Like, Tarek liked this item, right? But besides that, like, who else really built this item? I don't really know too many people that built this item. So yeah, I think this is a gigantic nerf. And I don't think really many people are going to build this item, even if they built it before. Yeah, only Rise is going to like this item. Yeah, Rise is going to love this item, by the way. Rise is going to love this item. Ornn, this is a nerf for Ornn. Ornn, yeah, this is a nerf for Ornn. Ornn doesn't build that many mana items. He builds, like, just this, and that's it. And Silent Buddy, with the Prime sub, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope you're having an amazing night. Thank you, buddy. How is your night, buddy? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to CapCorgi. We're actually covering the Major League item changes, doing some wonderful, wonderful discussions. How is your night, Silent? And popular ARAM item? Yeah. I don't cover ARAMs. I don't play ARAMs. I find ARAMs to be more toxic than ranked a lot of times. So yeah. Oh, keep an eye out, Silent. We're going through them now. Remember I was telling you about the new Atmas the Rebirth of Atmas guys, the 2% of your bonus health is attack damage, they're buffing Warmogs. So now it gives you less health regen, which is not the reason you bought Warmogs for in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, there you go, Kizzy. Absolutely, friend. But now they're increasing the total health on Warmogs by another 250. So Warmogs is like, dude, a lot more people are going to be wanting to build Warmogs. I can see a world where you build, like, my Udyr build might be, my AD Bruiser Udyr build might now be Rush Tiamat for the clear speed, and then start building Warmogs, and then build it into Overlord's Bloodmail. Or maybe I build Overlord's Bloodmail first, and then I build Warmogs if I'm playing safer. That's probably what I'm going to be doing. Because this will be insane. The amount of extra damage you're going to get from just those 3 items together. Because Titanic Hydra already gives you extra on-hit attack damage. It's not really like real attack damage, it's not scaling, but it is like an on-hit effect that scales with your total health. It's weird. It's a little bit weird how they did that. But yeah, that's going to be scaling with your total health, and this is going to be scaling with your total health as well. So you kind of get dual scaling. This is going to be really, really, really big. And I think it's like, dude, if you like to build health on Skarner, this is going to be gigantic on Skarner as well. Like this together with this, oh, sorry, not this, sorry. With this and this is going to be huge with Titanic Hydra for Skarner as well. Forgetting about Intrinsic Forge. What is Intrinsic Forge, Tyler Q? Oh, is that Ornn's passive? If it's Ornn's passive, yeah, I don't play Ornn, so that's totally fair. Oh, you're making it up. Oh my god. Okay, you trolled me. Okay. Also, by the way, guys, this is a huge buff. So they're taking out the Ingenious Hunter. So they're taking out the thing that you could do to build item haste per takedown. And, you know, this would affect your items, like Unending Despair. And they're just lowering the cooldown to 5 seconds. So every 5 seconds, you're getting a giant burst heal. So this, and it's based on your missing health. So this built with this. And this gives you, what, like 500, 600 health already. Guys, this is going to be disgusting. Sunfire now gives ability haste. This is a big buff to Sunfire Aegis. Anyone who builds this item wants ability haste. This is good, and ability haste has been so much harder to get. Yeah, Volibear. The Volibear made this item famous, but I was building this on Udyr as well, Seal Zipper. Like, this is a really good item on Udyr as well. Because Udyr likes to stay in fights. And this is like if you're building like the tanky bruiser, never wants to leave the fight, not actually building AD and attack speed Udyr. My Udyr builds AD and attack speed most of the time. But if I was building the item Sunderer, if I was building Sunderer, I would build this. If you ever build Sunderer, you want to build this too, because you kind of proc them at the same time, and they both went down with ability haste, with item ability haste. Yeah, this is probably still going to stay as a thing. Mixed feelings? I don't know, dude. I don't know what Riot is thinking by bringing back Atmas, Selly. And this is Atmas, but stronger. This is Atmas with Gore Drinker's passive added on top. Like, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely disgusting. I will build this on every character I play and just stack health. Because all of the characters I play like this type of deal anyways. This is stupid. And like, you know, if I'm an AD character, like an Udyr, if I'm building an Udyr, and if I'm building, like if I'm doing this on Vi, this would work on Vi. All you need to do on those characters is build Black Cleaver. And that gives you a giant 400 chunk of health as well. And it'll give you scaling damage versus tanks. Because guess what? If we scroll down enough, we'll see they're buffing Black Cleaver as well. Okay, we'll scroll down to there. There's a lot of items, guys. They're nerfing Randuin's Omen. It no longer has rock solid passive. And this would block from every auto attack, like straight up. Sometimes up to 20 to 40 damage. 20 early game to 40 late game. which was a solid chunk of damage. Like, just building the component part that would give you the rock solid passive was a really good way to counter a lot of AD early game. It was one of my favorite things to do to counter them. So Randuin's getting absolutely dunked. They're increasing the slow passive. The slow active. They're increasing the cooldown. 30 seconds is a giant nerf, by the way. They're lowering the health, and they're increasing the armor. The armor increase, when you take out the rock solid passive, is extremely, extremely much still a nerf. I do not like this change, especially because you will see later on they're buffing crit. And I'll show you how. A Knight's Vow change. Armor reduced by 5. Now gives you 100% HP regen. Damage redirect is stronger. And it's no longer doubled below 30% health. This is overall a general buff. But it's, obviously worse for, the emergency situations. But overall, this is a buff. We'll have to go to Frozen Heart. Yeah, exactly. But Frozen Heart doesn't give you crit reduction, is the problem, Steel Zipper. So if you're against a Yone top lane, and you're against an ADC like a Draven, or someone else who likes to build a lot of crit, and you're against like an AD jungler as well, this is just straight up a nerf. If you're against 2 crit characters, this is just a nerf. For the times you want to build Randuins. You only really want to build Randuins, or I only want to really build Randuins, when I'm against 2 crit champions. Any 2. If it's a Yasuo mid and ADC who builds crit, or a Yone Yasuo mid and top, or whatever. If it's like double crit at least, that's when I build Randuins. In any situation where you want this, because you're losing rock solid passive and they're increasing the cooldown of the slow by so much, it's just straight up a nerf, in my opinion. I think this is just a nerf. Also, the health is going down. Health going down means there's a lot less effective health. The reason the rock solid makes a difference is because it is a huge effective health buffer. Is Randuin's... Yeah, Randuin's is an item. And welcome, Tyler. I hope you're having a great night. Hollow Radiance. Big chunk of health going down, but now gives you ability haste. I think 10 ability haste is not worth 150 health. I love ability haste, but I don't think this is a 1-for-1. I think this is overall a nerf. Not a big fan of that. Anathema's Chains is now completely removed. And this item was borderline broken on certain characters and certain team comps. If you were against one fed other character, Anathema's was huge. Huge. And it would work against AP, it would work against AD. Completely getting rid of it is technically a nerf. And this is why, like, it was, very good against everyone is AD, and then you have an Evelynn on the other team. Like, say you're Udyr, right? Say I'm Udyr, and I'm versus an entire team of, like, let's say a Set top, Yasuo mid, a Draven bottom, so mostly AD, and an Evelynn jungle. And the Evelynn jungle got fed. I would build Anathemas, target Evelynn with Anathemas, and then I could just build armor from there. That's what you used to be able to do. That's gone. And Anathemas was only built in that situation really anyways. So this is just like a giant it's gone. Abyssal. Abyssal's cost is going down, which is good. Having it less expensive. This is a huge buff. Holy shit, guys. The aura is going up by 150 range. So now 700 range, which is a considerably large AoE. And now the armor shred is going down from 5 base. Going up from 5 base plus bonus HP scaling to now a flat 20% MR. And the MR itself is going down. This is okay. You didn't really build it for the MR. You built it for the shred. This was like a hybrid item. It would give you a lot of damage. And this, if you're building tank AP Udyr, for example, this is absolutely gigantic. MR means magic resist, Tyler Q. So yeah, this is going to be great. Recurve Bow is going away, NBF Sword by Hearthbound Axe. Okay, so they're making Terminus just a better build path. AD is going down, attack speed is increasing. This is okay. I mean, I only built this on very niche characters anyways. I actually build it a lot now on my 8 attack speed Udyr, but, you know, lethal tempo is going away, so I don't know if I'm even going to ever build this item again. Black Cleaver is getting buffed by a percentage point per stack. So at full stacks, it's going to give you, is it max at 30 or is it max at 35? Either way, it's going to go up. So Black Cleaver is just getting better. So anyone who builds Black Cleaver is going to love this item. Like, it's just going to be better. And a lot of people stopped building Black Cleaver. You only built it on certain characters. You used to just go other, you know, forms of armor shred. So I think this is actually a very good change. Static Shiv being completely changed. Crit chance is gone on it. More attack speed, and it shoots off the chain lightning every time you kill an enemy. So I think this is like an enemy creep as well. It's not very clear. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, so this is on creeps. So on creeps, it'll do 90 magic damage. And whenever you do a takedown, so a kill or assist on a champion, it is tripled and it has no cooldown. So they made this a lot stronger for team fights. Yeah, this is actually a really good change. And you are no longer locked into having to get it for crit chance. I actually like this change a lot. Renown's Hurricane. Cost being reduced is very good. No longer deals 30 on hit damage. You didn't really buy it for that. AD ratio is being increased. This is fine. And crit chance increased to 25%. I think from 20%. So overall, buff for AD. Ezreal Zeri item? Renown's Hurricane? No. Oh, do you mean Static Shiv? Maybe Static Shiv at that point, yeah. Quasi nerf? I think this is better for crit AD. I think this is just straight up for crit AD. Rapid Fire Cannon, attack speed being increased by 15%. Crit chance being increased to 25%. The AD is fully removed from it. Cost reduced by 400. So they're making this a good second item purchase if you really want to build this item on like a TF, on like a whatever. However, it loses all AD, which means it's going to scale like shit. I don't know. Like, this is, I guess, better early game, much worse late game. So you're really only getting it for the passive, which gives you the extra range. The lowering it, the cost by 400 makes this extremely accessible as a second item. As a second item purchase is going to be a lot better. Whether it's going to be better total or overall or something, I'm not entirely sure. Phantom Dancer. Attack speed increase. Crit increase. Move speed increase. AD and the passive removed. So what this used to do is every single time you would attack someone, you would gain stacking movement speed. So now they're just giving you flat movement speed. So this is just overall a buff until you could have stacked the movement speed. And when you were able to stack the movement speed, it's now a nerf. So this is actually more useful early game. More useful early game, more useful for running away, things like that. I think this is actually pretty okay. This just makes it more usable. Taking out the AD, though, completely is rough. Actually, no, yeah. Taking out the AD completely is rough. Yeah. I think that might be overall a nerf. It didn't have that much AD to begin with, but it still is a nerf. Yeah. Okay, never mind. That's a nerf. I had to rethink. So this is kind of a revert. No one was really building Mercurial Scimitar, and now it's getting 10% lifesteal. So this will be a great last item for a lot of ADCs again. Yeah, a lot of ADCs will build this as their lifesteal item, and they'll rely on Legend Bloodline and this to give them lifesteal. And now they'll have a just straight up get out of jail free card. And it'll go back to the meta where a lot of ADs just build this. Yeah, exactly. You're gonna build the new PD on Jhin? Yeah. This is the huge change I was talking about. Infinity Edge, cost going up by 100, which is okay, because the crit chance is going up by up to 25%, and AD is being increased by 15. Huge buff to Infinity Edge. Gigantic buff. If you're an ADC that likes to build crit, Well, your biggest counter, which is Randuin's, got nerfed, and Infinity Edge got buffed. So why Riot Games is buffing IE and nerfing Randuin's at the same time is way beyond me. You know, this is also part of the reason they're getting rid of Lethal Tempo. Because they saw that they wanted to change this, and they were like, wait a second, Yasuo Yone are going to be busted. So let's tech out Lethal Tempo because that's their Keystone Rune. However, they forgot that a lot of ADCs like that Keystone Rune, and a lot of niche champions also like that Keystone Rune as well. So now I can no longer have my Lethal Tempo on Udyr as well. God. But yeah, this is a huge buff to crit. Huge buff to crit, obviously. Rip Trundle, yeah. Rip Trundle, rip ADC Udyr, rip Bel'Veth like Conqueror. Though Bel'Veth could build Lethal Tempo if they wanted, but generally built Conqueror. Nocturne like Lethal Tempo. Nocturne is nerfed with this. A lot of characters are nerfed with this. I'll probably go Phase Rush for mobility comps. And I'll probably go the gold one, First Strike, nowadays on Udyr. After this change happens. Rank just went down. Patched you at 3 a.m. I don't think it's these changes, Mage. I think it was the previous set of changes. I don't think it's these changes. Because these changes were just announced by Spider Axe. So I'm pretty sure this is like PTR stuff, Mage. Not 100%, but like this is probably going up on PTR. And these changes will probably come out in 2 weeks. Unless I'm wrong. Is this going live? There's no way. They just announced these changes. Yeah. I think these are going to be... These are like the updates for PvE stuff. Arena is coming out tonight? Okay, yeah. 16-person Arena? Yeah. The Arena changes I'm not a big fan of. Yeah, Arena, they didn't nerf a lot of the niche craziness, and they're not going to. So Arena will be just dominated by the same broken-ass characters. Just like before. There's just going to be more of them. I'm not a big fan of that. Like, I said, in order to make Arena succeed, and I said this in my previous video where we talked about all the gigantic league changes, and you can catch that video on the channel. It's a very, very big one. As I was saying in that video, though, if they want to make Arena succeed, they need to actually iterate balance changes based on who is Giga strong and who is not, and do buffs and nerfs. They left the problems untouched from what I tried in PvE. Yeah, that does not surprise me. I mean, I said what they needed to do to fix it, but they doesn't mean they're going to listen. Exactly, Steel Zipper. A lot of people were saying this, though. Like, a lot of people bigger than I am. Arena's a fast stats. Yeah, it is. But, like, Arena also, like, it's... If things are completely broken, people don't want to play it. That's why I don't play Arena. Because things were just completely fucking busted broken. And it went in literally, like, 2-3 days from being a place where people just did wacky things... attack speed Udyr, though I do that everywhere. All kinds of random niche builds. People were playing like Urgot, Jarvan together. You would like grab someone in your ult and the Urgot would just run around them and shoot them. All kinds of wacky things. To everything just being completely fucking broken in 3 days. Everyone figured out the meta. It never changed, never got nerfed. So everyone just played the same broken champions. And if you ever solo queued Arena and you didn't play something broken, your teammate would troll you and leave. And it was just a shit game mode. Yeah. And it's going to probably do the same thing. Anyways, going back to the actual item changes. Collector. Pickaxe instead of BF, so this makes it more viable, more easily viable. Pickaxe you can get as a much earlier power spike than BF Sword. Most people go B when they're able to get Pickaxe, as opposed to BF Sword. Crit chance being increased to 25%. That's a buff. AD is increased by 5. And lethality reduced by a single point. 1 down. Yeah, Boyfriend Sword, exactly. Collector is getting massively buffed. This is nothing but a buff. Losing 1 lethality for 5 AD and increasing crit chance. Huge buff. Huge buff. Immortal Shield Bow, massive change. Cloak and Vamp Scepter are replaced by Noon Quiver. Crit chance is increased by 25%. AD is increased by 5. And all the lifesteal is now gone. Which means that no one will really ever want to buy it. You bought this because it was a cheap source of lifesteal that would also give you really good survivability via the shield. And because you no longer get lifesteal, this item is just useless. It just now gives you a shield with you just relying on Legend Bloodline, and that's kind of it. So the entire reason to get this item is kind of just gone. And yeah, I think it used to give you 12% lifesteal as well, so a decent chunk. I do not agree with this change at all. No one will build this item. Essence Reaver. Sheen is replaced by BF Sword. Holy shit. This is a giant nerf to anyone who actually builds Essence Reaver that builds crit, like Gangplank. This is like a targeted nerf to Gangplank. No longer has Spellblade effect, so it doesn't proc Gangplank Q, things like that. And now restores 15 per 10% bonus mana on hit. Crit chance increased, AD and ability haste increased by 5. That's negligible. Cost increased by 300. It's also much more expensive. Yeah, this item got fucking dumpstered. Absolutely dumpstered. Rip Tobias Fate. I don't know who. I don't really follow them. So if they were building this on like a crit build for ADTF, because I think that's what he does, right? Yeah, whatever. Like, I don't really care about him. But this completely nerfs Gangplank. Ezreals who like to build this, they're never going to build this anymore. A lot of Dravens used to build this for, like, the crit Spellblade proc. And that's gone. Like, yeah, he does a lot of GP. Okay. Well, good, because honestly, I don't like GP as a character, so I'm glad it's getting nerfed. But yeah, this item's not even getting nerfed. It's getting gutted. It's getting absolutely shit on. That's ridiculous. Bloodthirster. Bloodthirster's cloak, crit cloak, which is one of the most useless items in the game, is now being replaced by pickaxe. This is an overall buff. Crit chance is going away. That's fine. AD's increased by 25. That's a gigantic amount of AD. Holy shit. And now converts excess lifesteal into a shield again, which is what it kind of used to do. And it was really funny because you could stack this with overheal and kind of get double the shield. So it no longer does this. So it's kind of, this is basically like a revert. This is how Bloodthirster used to be a little bit ago, before they reworked it. And this version of Bloodthirster is a lot stronger. Also, by the way, this gives you one of the highest amounts of lifesteal in the game. I think it gives you, what, like 16, 18%? It's a lot of lifesteal. I think it is the highest lifesteal in a single item. Yeah, they reworked it. Yeah, exactly. They deworked it, one might say. But yeah, this is a huge 18. Yeah, 18% lifesteal. So yeah, this is a gigantic buff for it. And this is a lot of ADCs are going to love this. However, it did take out the crit chance. So this would be like a, if I'm going full AD Udyr, I could see a world where I build this on full AD Udyr, for example. Or like, you know, other bruisers. Aatrox is going to love this change. Anyone who likes to build bruiser or like heavier to the AD side and doesn't want crit is going to love this change. Nocturne will probably like this change. Udyr, when I build him AD, is going to love this change. I used to build this older version on AD Udyr back in the day, before they changed it to a crit item. So this is going to be a very, very good change for those characters. Yeah, this is pretty big. Zeal, crit chance increased from 15 to 20%. That's just a buff. Verdant Barrier, cost reduced by 100. That's a buff. No one built this item, and it doesn't build into much. It only builds into like 1, maybe 2 items. So yeah. Big buff. Recurve bow damage changed from magic to physical. That means it's easier to be able to counter it. And this is because they added Slingshot, which gives you the attack speed and AP, or like magic damage. So that's why they did this. So Nashor's Tooth no longer builds Recurve bow. It builds the AP version, or sorry, the magic damage version of this. That's why they did this. Noon Quiver. Okay, so this is a component item used for many things. And dagger is replaced by cloak. Yuck. Now gives crit instead of attack speed. No longer deals extra damage to minions and monsters. AD reduced by 5. Cost increased by 100. So this is kind of a nerf. Yeah, I don't like this change either, Tyler. Yeah, this is kind of a nerf. I mean, you used to build this a lot for a lot of crit AD champions in the jungle, Viego, things like that. And it would like supercharge their clear. Bel'Veth loved this item as well. It would do 20, it was because of 20 damage on hit to minions and monsters. I think this is a big nerf to those characters. And obviously, you're just not going to build this on them anymore. Yeah, I see this as an overall nerf. Though 20% crit, this is a pretty big stepping stone crit item like early Zeal was. You could build like this and just build IE. Nerf to AC junglers, Kindred. Exactly, yeah, Steel Zipper. Kindred is another one. I was saying, I was saying Viego and Belveth, but yeah, definitely Kindred as well. Huge nerf to Kindred. Hearthbound Axe. Longsword now replaces Dagger. Cost increased. AD increased. Attack speed reduced. Overall, massive nerf. Because you're getting very little, so this is just less efficient. You're losing attack speed, you're gaining just 5 AD, and the cost goes up by a relatively considerable amount. A lot of times, you could go do your first back as an AD jungler, and I'm mostly a jungler, that's what I'm talking about from a jungle standpoint. And you could buy this in your first B. There's many times where you won't actually be able to buy this now. You'll have to buy components and then get it. Bami's Cinder. Glowing Moat replaces 1 Ruby Crystal. Cost goes down by 100. Health goes down by 100. 5 ability haste. Minion and monster damage goes up. So this is very good for characters' early clears. So any tank jungler that wants this for an early clear, this is jungle love. Yeah, this is straight up love for the jungle. This is love for Sejuani. They also, by the way, whoever doesn't remember, they absolutely massively buffed Sejuani in the last patch as well. She's like disgustingly strong. Maybe it's the patch that's just about to go live, or maybe it was the last patch. But whenever the change happened for Sejuani, this is made for her. And, you know, Amumu, things like that. Dagger, just overall nerf by 2% attack speed. Swifties. Oh my god. Swifties got dumpstered. It no longer gives slow resist. Movement speed is reduced by 15. Oh, they added, by the way, slow resist to Zephyr. So that is another reason to go Berserker Greaves. It now not only is a buff Berserker Greaves, and it also gives you, you know, better stuff, but it also gives slow resist on Zephyr. Swiftness is now completely unbuyable. It's no longer a faster movement speed, and they remove slow resist, and now auto attacks give you a little bit burst movement speed. Yeah, these are trash now. Completely trash. Absolutely. Merc Treads got buffed. Tenacity is now lower by 10%, which is, you know, it's whatever. Tenacity is always weird anyways. You want a little bit, you don't want too much. It's really hard to stack it. There's a lot of issues with Tenacity in general. However, cost reduced by 100, MR increased by 5. So overall, the other times that you want to build this item versus a lot of characters, this becomes more of a ubiquitous purchase. Anytime you're against characters that have, like, you know, stacking CC, things like that, this is the item you want to build. So you have a Seraphine bot lane, you have a an Ashe ADC, you have a Ornn top lane. Actually, it doesn't even work on Ornn because Ornn is pop-ups. You have I don't know, Taric jungle, whatever. Yeah, you have things with hard CC. You have several different characters with hard CC, and you have like a lot of magic damage on the other team. This is what you want to go. Just even more now. Yeah, cost reduction is a huge thing. A lot of people underrate how important cost reduction is. Cost reduction means you get the item faster, and being able to get a completed item faster takes components away. It gives you an overall buff in terms of item efficiency and everything. It's such a big change. Yeah, 100 more gold against AP champions. Exactly. Yeah, you can use that, and you also get 5 more MR. Steel, it's not like you're losing magic resist. You're gaining magic resist, and you're losing cost. So against AP comps, when you want to build this, multiple AP champions, you know, Lilia, whatever, things like that, this is just better. Just straight up better. Ghost got absolutely gutted Ghost here. Duration goes down by 2 seconds, and the cooldown goes up by 30 seconds. Ghost was very, very strong, and it kind of needed a nerf, but this might be too much of a nerf because it's a nerf on both ends. So yeah, I'm never really a big fan of nerfing 2 aspects of a single thing. I would be, I mean, if I was on the balance team, I'd be a little bit more conservative. I would nerf either the cooldown or the duration. But they're doing both. So Ghost is going to be a lot, yeah, overreaching. Exactly. Especially because, you know, not everyone goes Ghost. Everyone goes Flash. Flash hasn't gotten a nerf in a long time. Hell, people stack Flash and Ghost. That's where the big problem lies. What they should really do, hot take, is make it if you go Ghost, you cannot go Flash. If you go Flash, you cannot go Ghost. You can only go one of those mobilities. That's it. That's what they should have done. Because the only time it becomes a real problem is when ADCs abuse it. Is when top laners like Darius abuse it. You know, Darius loves it. ADCs love it. You know, a lot of characters used to stack it. A lot of mid laners did it as well. Be a Chad like you and go Ignite Smite. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, well, if you're going jungle, you won't Smite anyways. Exhaust change. Slow is increased by 10%, but the cooldown is going up by 30%. Complete nerf. This is not worth it. Barrier got giga buffed, duration goes up, and the shield goes up, both at base and scaling up to 480. So this is, if you're against a lot of healing reduction, this is pretty good. Yeah. Flash Goes Vayne, exactly, Steel Zipper. Flash Goes Vayne is a good example. Corrupting Potion is just gone. Holy shit. This item has been in the game for a very long time. Holy shit, guys. This is a huge change. Oh my god. Yeah, Barrier is only used for, like, very, like, you know, baity matchups. Like, you used to go Barrier a lot on Warwick top. Because the Barrier would not mess up your, like, you know, the bonuses you get from being low health. So you would used to try to, like, bait out people, go Barrier. They would think you're about to die. You get a giant, like, bop of shield, and it doesn't count as health. So you still get the bonus from being low health. Liv Mochi, how you doing, my friend? It's been a long time. We miss you. How have you been, Liv Mochi? Hope you're doing amazingly. And also, we are recording some changes for the upcoming league changes on the YouTube. We have been putting up a new video every single morning. I'm at almost 150 videos, Liv Mochi. I don't know if you're checking them out, but definitely check them out. And welcome. We're doing a lot of variety these days. My computer is dead, so I'm not able to play much League anymore. So, over the past several weeks, which makes me a very sad corgi. But we're still having lots of fun, and we're still on every single night, Liv Mochi. So yeah, don't be a stranger. Hang on out with us. Great to have you back. Are you still in the Discord, Liv Mochi? Hop in our Discord. And if you're not following the YouTube, guys, please follow the YouTube. The YouTube is a big way for me to move forward as a content creator. We're on the road to 1,000 followers to get monetized. And if you like any videos, help it out in the algorithm. Give it a like, give it a sub, give it a comment. These things are literal gold for me. And they cost you nothing except a couple of seconds of your time. If you're able to do those things, it really means the world. Never required, of course, but, you know, always does help. So if you guys care about the content, it would only help, guys. It would only help. Lana's leaving us. I'm sad. Good night, Lana Bean. Take care. Thank you for hopping on in. Hanging on out. Liv Mochi, how have you been, my friend? How have you been? Tell us all of the good stuff and what you've been up to, my friend. Absolutely. Good night. Good night. Yep. There we go. Perfect. Okay, the next change. Plated steel caps. Oh! Okay, so they buffed the armor by 5, and they finally reduced the passive for oncoming auto attacks by 4%. This lowers the scaling a lot. This is actually a gigantic nerf. I mean, it's still worth buying versus auto attack champions, but this is a pretty chunky nerf. Yeah, wow. I never thought I would see the day. This has passed by so many item sweeps and changes. I didn't know if this would ever get changed. Lots of skins. Anything else? Oh, no, there are more. There are more. Holy shit, there are more. How many changes are there? Oh my god. Okay, Blade of the Ruined King. AD attack speed and lifesteal is increased. Health damage reduction. So that's the percentage health damage. And it no longer slows, no longer decrease for range. So they made this more accessible to range characters, which is fine. And all the base stats are increased. The health damage is reduced by, I think, a single percentage point, which is not a really big deal. And this is an overall buff. Blade of the Ruined King users like Udyr, a lot of characters, huge buff for Blade of the Ruined King. Yeah, Sullycrow, I've been covering a lot of it. So be sure to catch it when I put it up on the YouTube, my friend. And welcome. The lovely Sully Crow. Happy evening to you, buddy. Happy evening. Kraken Slayer. AD and attack speed up. Crit replaced by movement speed. Increased damage is now based on missing HP instead of consecutive attacks. So this makes it more usable. It doesn't have to be you attacking someone over and over again. If you find a low health target, the damage will be increased. So this makes it more usable for ADs. Kraken Slayer. Okay, the crit is replaced. You know, a lot of characters that built this didn't even care about the crit. If you were Viego and you were building this item, you didn't care about the crit. If you were Bel'Veth and you were building this item, the crit was a waste. So this is just a buff for those characters. Straight up a buff. Absolutely. Yeah. Bel'Veth may not like it as much because they relied on the consecutive attacks and they would give them an absolute boatload of damage because of how E works with the consecutive attacks. Each little trick and bop of her E counted as a separate attack. So yeah. But besides that, the rest of the characters that use this item love this Kraken Slayer change. Huge buff for that. Recipe change as well. Not a big deal. Lord Doms no longer has the passive. However, it gives you 40% armor pen. Holy shit, that is a giant buff. That is a giant buff. Yeah. Dude, can you imagine you are Darius, you buy Lord Doms, and now whatever tank you're against just has 20 armor, or like 20% armor. Holy crap, man. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Any other item changes? I think that might be it. We'll scroll down a bit. Let's see. But I think that might be it. Oh, yeah. Here we go. See? Yeah, I told you that. So these are the stats. It now gives you 40% attack speed above Berserker Greaves. Oh, okay. So you don't have to buy it. So you have Berserker Greaves until level 15 and it auto upgrades. So now it gives you tier 3 movement speed, what Swifties used to give you, and it gives you 40% attack speed, which I think Berserkers is 15. So it goes from 25. So it goes from 25% attack speed on Berserkers to 40% and slow reduction. I'm probably gonna build Berserker Greaves on Udyr every day because of how important movement speed is and slow reduction is. This is ridiculously good. Holy shit. Okay, let's see any other item changes. Yeah, this was the Atmas. New rune. Killing a target heals you from 2 to 17. So if you're against a couple of characters like Zyra plants will now heal you. What's it called? Yorick minions will now heal you. This is actually far more usable than Overheal was in the jungle. So as a jungler, Absorb Life will actually be really big, especially versus grubs. Like, dude, if this works on every small grub, taking grubs will be health positive. So yeah, if you're going precision tree as a jungler, as an AD jungler, this is just gonna be huge for you. Neon, welcome, buddy. How are you doing tonight? Pleasure to have you in here. Okay, so Legend Tenacity is gone. Big change. You can no longer get Tenacity from Legend Tenacity Room, but now you get Item Haste. Sorry, Ability Haste. So Legend Ability Haste came back. This is big. Ooh. What they might need to do is take a pass on all items and stuff like Rylai's. Legend Tenacity and, you know, Swifties were, like, the only thing that kept, you know, that even remotely in check. And even that was, like, net nerf. Rylai's. Because Rylai's on Tick Champions are going to be absolutely disgusting now. They're nerfing the fuck out of tanks? No, they're buffing tanks in other ways. Warmog's got increased by 250 health Neon Knight. I covered a lot of the changes. You'll have to catch the video on it. For sure, Neon Knight. We've been discussing it for like the past hour. It's an absolute boatload of changes, bro. Cut down. Cut down is new effect, 8% more damage to champs who have more than 60% max HP. This is just a nerf. So it looks like this is a giga nerf to cut down. If I'm understanding this, this is actually a big net nerf. Yeah, not a big fan of that. New rune, Jack of all trades. No longer Time Warp. Okay, so it replaces Time Warp Tonic. Time Warp Tonic is moved to row 2 and replaces Minion Dematerializer. Wait, is Dematerializer dead? Holy shit, that's a big nerf. Losing Dematerializer was a lot of ways to negate losing matchups. Jack of all trades, from each different stat gained from items, you gain 1 Jack stat. Is this a relationship for Jack stats? Oh my god. Each stack grants you 1 ability haste. And at 5 and 10, gains bonus adaptive force. Interesting. So Kaisa is going to love this rune. Kale is going to love this rune. Kale builds everything. I guess Udyr could build it. I'm not sure where you get AP from at a negligible amount without, like, you know, gutting yourself. Okay, Udyr builds AD, as in my Udyr. AD, health, ability haste, armor, magic resist, attack speed. Jesus. Yeah, Udyr might really like this. This would be really cool. Yeah, Ashe when she Qs. Could be good on TF. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, this is pretty big. Okay, this is a very interesting rune. I might unironically go the money one with this in it, because this is really good. Buff to ultimate bravery builds. Yeah, exactly. Holy smokes, man. This is crazy. Yeah, Jax will love this. I forgot about Jax. Jax will absolutely adore this change. Holy shit. Cash back. Replaces triple tonic on the first row. Yeah, no one used triple tonic. That shit was so bad. Replaces futures market. What? Get 6% gold back when you purchase legendary items. You hit your power spikes much faster. This is really good, actually. This is a lot of gold shit, though. Ooh, I don't know. Reworking Unsealed Spellbook. There's no real notes on that. Holy crap, man. This is crazy changes. Is there anything else? Okay, these are like the generals. General stuff. Yeah. Okay, it looks like, guys, that was all of the changes. 6% isn't that much. It stacks, though, Neon. Like, okay. Let's see. Legendary items league. We can do the math right now. The Singe rune? Yeah, Singe as well, yeah. Does it give you a hover? Yeah. So, legendary items, you know, go from like 2,200 to 2,600 to 3,100. So, anything from 32, anything from like, what is the cheapest one? Yeah, anything from 24 to 32. So let's see 6%. We'll do it right now. Neon, it scales with it, though. This just means you hit your power spikes faster. So 2,400 times 0.06. So you get 144 gold back on the small items. Oops. I think that was the largest one. You get 200 gold back. Yeah, it may not be worth it. I don't know. Because you're building 4 legendaries per game. So you're essentially, that rune is worth almost 1,000 gold. So it depends on how much, you know, stats you're getting and such. The thing is, though, this will let you hit power spikes faster. That's the big bonus of this. But you will be hitting those, when you get to 6 items, the rune is just weaker. So if you don't win at 6 items, then this is just an overall nerf. So yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. We'll see how it goes. I think, though, guys, the most busted change. We've looked over all the changes. This is the most busted change in the entire patch. That mixed with the IE buffs while Randuin's is also being nerfed. So IE is being buffed and Randuin's being nerfed, and then Overlord Bloodmail. This is insane. This is actually disgusting. Yeah. Atma's is back, baby. The broken build for the next patch, guys, on any character that can do it, Set or a Yi item. Yeah, exactly. Set or my Udyr, my AD Bruiser Udyr is going to love this build, where I'm going to essentially be going Tiamat for the clear, not even building it into anything yet. And then I'm going to start building either Overlord's Bloodmail or the reworked Warmogs, which gives you 1,000 health at completion, which is huge. And then build Overlord's Bloodmail, one of the two. I'm either rushing this as a first item or I'm rushing Warmogs. And then I'm going to build Titanic Hydra. So those are that's my 3-item core, plus Berserker Greaves. And after that, I'm going to have, like, fucking just so much damage coming from health. And then I'll build some resists. And then I just win. Then Udyr just wins. Then my Bruiser Deer just wins. Mundo is going to break 500 AD. Yeah, exactly, Sully Crow. Yeah, Mundo is going to love this. Set is going to love this. By the way, Set would love this as well. Oh, and Black Cleaver. Yeah, mix that with Black Cleaver. Shit, man. Garen. Dude, AD Garen. Not AD Garen. Like, a more tank-based Garen is going to fucking love this. This might be the return of Tank Garen as well. Yeah, it's going to be brutal. Yeah, any like fighter that wants to build a lot of health. Actually, dude, Aatrox is going to love this. Aatrox will love this because Aatrox health stacks as well. Any health stacker is going to love this. AD Volibear will love this. Yeah, AD Volibear might really, really love this as well. So yeah, a lot of these items, very strong. I think the Meta Golem build will be pretty good. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, guys, if you liked it, please give the video a like and a sub. I do like to create a variety of content. We do stream every single night on Twitch, at CapCorgi on Twitch as well. Welcome, 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 everyone.